So tell me what an emergency communicator does.
Well, we are responsible here in Wilson County. This is a central location for all 911 calls. And so throughout the day, we have anywhere from 100 to 125 calls. On top of administration calls, which may be 175 calls to 200 calls. And a lot of those are alarm calls, etc. But our call takers, which we call ECOs, they're responsible to make sure that all cell phone calls, landlines come in here, that they get directed to the appropriate location.
Do you have the cell phone program that will um, allow a location, or how can you trace down a cell phone?
Yes, of course, I'm still a big believer of people need to keep their landlines. But we see, 25 years ago when I started, 80% of our calls
Right.
were landlines. And now we see 80% are cell phones. Well, cell phones rely on triangulation of cell phone towers. And so what happens when you dial 911, it'll actually hit on the nearest tower that's not busy. And it may be a tower right next to you, because these towers span out to a 2 or 3 mile radius. So we have 100 cell phone towers here in Wilson County.
Wow.
So what happens is, especially if there's a wreck on the interstate, there may be that all the towers get busied out, and they actually may end up hitting into another county. That county has to figure out, that they need to come in here in Wilson County.
So when you guys get a call, do you send it to say Lebanon or that sort of thing? Are you the middleman?
Yeah, yes, we are actually the beginning point.
Okay.
And which a lot of people say, well, hey, you have to transfer it out. But with us being in one central location, then we don't have to worry about the cell phone towers being busy or being just overcome by the call traffic.
Right.
And our people know the whole county. So we know if a call is here within the jurisdiction of each municipality that it needs to go to Mount Juliet, Lebanon, or the county,
Okay.
and even Watertown. So, saying that, our people know that whole area, and Lebanon dispatchers will actually then take over. Our people stay on the line, and so they're dedicated. People will call in, and they might have just witnessed a horrific deal, like husband just had a heart attack, and they cannot even think of where they're at. But through your landlines, which is the easiest part, but through cell phone, because it'll triangulate, and it's the technology tells us it should be within 50 feet
Okay.
of where they're at.
So one thing I want to say about landlines is when they come up, the address to the landline will come up on the LED board or whatever you
That's
will have on the
correct.
computer.
That's correct.
So that's why people should keep at least a landline.
That's correct.
Now, do you all learn 10 codes in the military alphanumeric system?
We did the 10 codes. Several years ago, there was a push to go to just standard language. But we've seen that that's hard to get away from, so but here in Wilson County, one particular code, like for 1046, which is a wreck with injury, for the highway patrol, that's just a plain wreck. So, you've got to keep knowledge of the different codes used
So
by
you
different
almost have to
agencies.
translate to whichever department
Yes.
or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So how many weeks of training do your communicators get before they're sent out?
4 weeks.
4
4
weeks.
weeks, yeah.
And what all do they have to learn?
The first and foremost thing is that we strive, and actually one of our application processes, if we give them a map of the entire Wilson County, and we ask them, we give it like I don't know if you ever noticed, Wilson County looks like a heart. So my big theme is we're the heartbeat of Wilson County.
Oh, nice.
So what I actually asked them to do, I'll put like Lebanon Square and do a couple of lines, because you think about it, we have I-40 running, east and west, and then we have Lebanon Road running east and west, but that's known as Highway 70.
Right.
But so is Carthage Highway, known
Right.
as Highway 70. So is Sparta Pike, known as Highway 70. So we end up with trying to get the new people coming in here saying, look, you have to know this whole entire county, because we'll have people call and go, hey, I've been involved in a bad accident here on Hobson Pike. And they go, Hobson Pike? Isn't that Nashville? Well, no, there's about a 100-yard section that's Wilson County. So we even though we've come a long way, because when I first started, we had paper maps. And we have a master street guide so that we actually look and it would tell the street and tell. Now we have technology of GIS, which has made it just so much easier on our call takers. So if a person calls in and they're from another county, another state, and that's what 911 is about. It's one easy to remember 3-digit number.
Right.
And so it's just, it works.
Now, when someone calls 911, do you guys take the information, and then Lebanon or whomever would take the information as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that because Lebanon may drop and you guys can still?
we have done that numerous times.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't want to put the burden up on them being so busy. Like I said, we may get 10 calls on a house fire. We may get 1 call, but sometimes we get 20 calls. We've only had to transfer that 1 call. We continue getting information, update.
I got it.
And if it's needed, that our call takers will notify and say, hey, this third caller has said that they believe they saw somebody in the house.
Right.
You know, so it's not that they just answer a call and transfer it. You know, they work very hard at what they do. And if a person calls and they've, my first call actually here was a lady had been shot. And fortunately, she was able to tell me that, and then she never spoke another word. So I kind of translated for her, you know, once I transferred the call. But it works. It works.
Excellent. So what does the public need to know that we haven't discussed?
Our call takers are very dedicated. They do it because not only of, you know, it's a one of these jobs that you have to go home at night and go, I made a difference. And there's a lot of stuff people will never know. Our call takers come in here every day, and they leave here every day with something that has changed their heart. They'll drive by an address and go, that poor lady, I wonder how she's doing since her husband passed away. You know, so these emergency communication operators from not only at Wilson County 911, Lebanon Police, Mount Juliet Sheriff's Department, you know, even Watertown, and our first responders, they are marked from the time that they take a call. And I think the people need to realize that it's a job that unfortunately, you realize our time here on earth is limited and can be limited, you know, and can change in any second.
Right. Well, one thing I want to say about communication officers is they have to be calm.
Yes.
I mean, when the person on the other line is panicked, they calm them down, and they have to be calm and not panic.
Yes.
How do you select people that? I mean, is it just through the training that you discover if someone is calm or going to be hyperactive?
Sometimes it's through the training. Sometimes it's when they get that call.
Okay.
And you see it. A lot of times people will tell us, hey, I'll be calm and it'll be the best thing. We've had a lot of people come in here thinking they can do the job, but they get that call from a little girl who just found out, you know, her mom and dad have been in a situation that is not very nice to hear. And it just, it's hard. And people go, I can't listen to that.
Right.
And so, you know, it's not a job for everybody. And it pays well, but it doesn't pay, you know, top money.
Right.
But our call takers here are dedicated. If one of our call takers have to call in sick, we've always got people saying, hey, you know, I'm here for you if I can help. We got storms coming in, they call and go, hey, looks like we may have tornadoes today. You know, so they're very willing to jump in and assist.
Okay. So what does the Wilson County 911 do?
Well, they're basically the lifeline between the public and law enforcement, and we really appreciate the hard work that they do. They have to make split-second decisions in possible life-threatening emergencies, and they never know if it's going to be one of their friends, one of their co-workers, or the stranger on the end of the line wanting help. They want to do the best job they possibly can. It takes a really special person with a calm disposition who knows how to multitask
Right.
under all kinds of distractions.
Okay, that's good.